In today's video is one that many of you have been hounding me for a while. We review Natacha Océane's What I Eat in a Day. Roll the titles.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. As always, just a quick reminder that I'm now offering the SIBO, organic acid, stool test and consult via my website. So if you have any health or digestive problems, then consider taking these tests, as they will provide a lot of very detailed information upon which you can start making informed decisions and then start getting your health back on track. And on that bombshell, to the video.
Breakfast?
We're gonna have grilled banana.
Really?
Yeah. Are you excited for it?
I am.
Banana tastes better when it's grilled.
Bold statement.
I don't know this recipe.
Really? It's super easy. You just put a little bit of like light butter on there, then grill it, and then grab some toast, whack some ricotta on it, bananas go on top, drizzle a bit of mix to it, blueberries, raspberries, it's like let's go back.
Banana and butter. Okay, let's see where she's going with this.
This is the bit that's like, it's like moment of truth, because if you break the banana, like obviously it's fine, but I'm gonna treat it as life or death situation.
Oh, it just doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Okay, so it really is fine.
So it really is fine, but at the same time, is it?
And that's your backup?
That's my backup. If things go horribly wrong, I'm relying on this one half to take me through the day.
And sorry, just to be clear, horribly wrong just means if it splits.
Correct.
In which case, we still do get to eat, right?
Yeah, we still get to eat.
Fried or grilled bananas, I didn't know that was actually a thing. Let me know if you are someone who fries your bananas or fruit in the comments below.
But it's less satisfying.
Right.
I feel like I need to confess though, because I film What I Eat in a Day on much more chill days. The last 2 weeks we've literally been eating porridge. And you guys know I don't like porridge, but it's quick.
And I make it for you.
It's quick and Mario makes it, so can I complain? No.
Genius, I don't like something, therefore I'm going to eat a lot of it. Love the logic.
Plus, we've got a little bit of a secret ingredient in there. Let me show it to you.
Oh.
Chocolate milk.
So you can hardly call it porridge, it's more like a chocolate soup.
Chocolate oat chowder.
Chocolate oat chowder
That
with
sounds
fruit.
good.
Look, each their own with how you like your porridge in the mornings. Having not long woken up though, there is no way that I'm adding chocolate milk to my porridge and then chocolate spread on top of that. That would be way too sweet for me first thing, but again, let me know if that's a typical breakfast for you. Now, I'm all for experimenting with foods, but that is some weird trippy combination on a plate. Just to repeat, each their own, but on that plate you have toast with the ricotta on top, and then you've got the berries with the maple syrup on top. Is that weird, or is that just me?
I'm feeling pretty full. I've got like half of my toast left, and I was gonna put it away and save it for tomorrow, but Mario's requested for the extra.
I think that Mario is going to be like this after his extras.
It's lunchtime. Okay, so we're making an orzo salad, which is basically like a pasta salad, but the pasta looks like rice. This is, Mario's mum gave us this.
Sounds interesting. Let's see where she goes with this.
Seriously?
This recipe is super, super easy. You just, basically, I'm just gonna chop these in half. Done. I'm gonna chop that up a little bit, chop these up, take this out of the can, chuck all of that into a salad bowl, mix once that's done after 11 minutes.
With the knife?
With the knife.
Yeah.
And you're done. I really don't like to spend much time on lunch, you know, because lunch is that time where it's like, do we have time? You know, and the answer is usually like no.
Even Mario is concerned with Natacha holding that knife.
Not really. How cute are these little peppers? They're so cute. Right, Mario's dad, this is for you. This is a gift that Mario's dad got me for Christmas. It's a Liverpool merchandised apron.
Yes, Mario's dad.
I mean, come on, with your in-laws, can I get any better? I'm doing the orzo
For my
the
mum.
Greek for your mum. I've got the Liverpool apron on for your dad. It's got to get me brownie points. I dedicate this meal to Mario's parents.
Look, that recipe would be a big step up nutrition-wise for a large proportion of the world's population who eat standard Western-type diets. So credit to Natacha where credit is due. That being said, given how decimated tuna numbers have become over the last 20 or so years, and given that there is nothing that Natacha couldn't get by replacing the tuna with additional plants on that plate, I think that better choices could have been made.
I mean, it was gonna happen. Oh my god, it's gonna be messy. Treat yourself, you know?
She's certainly got a sweet tooth. I'm not surprised she's taken a nap after that sugar crash, and with that in mind, let's have a quick total up of how Natacha is tracking so far for her day of eating. So for someone of Natacha's age and metabolic profile, she will need around 2,019 calories per day. In terms of her macros, Natacha is travelling in the right direction for her proteins, fats and carbs. And in terms of her carbs, she is quite high after 2 meals for her free sugars, but given the maple syrup and donuts etc, this is no real big surprise. And just to clarify what I mean, free sugars are simply any sugars that are added to any food or drink, so they are essentially processed refined sugars. In terms of her lipid intake, she is relatively low for saturated fats, which is good, but in terms of her healthy monounsaturated fats and omega-3s, she is a little bit on the low side after 2 meals, so it will be interesting to see if this changes after her evening meal. Natacha's minerals and trace minerals are starting to stack up, as are her vitamin levels, but there is still a little bit of work to do just to hit the base level recommendations for her day of eating. And before we check in and see what Natacha is going to eat for her dinner, let's just have a quick macronutrient analysis. So far, around 54% of her day of eating is coming from carbs and sugars, around 18% from protein and 27% or so from fats. And on those bombshells, let's see where Natacha heads for dinner.
We're having dinner. We're having a special fajitas dinner. And Mario's going to be taking control of this one. I'm going to be your sous chef. You made them the other night and they were spectacular.
You can't go wrong with fajitas.
We got the tortilla wraps, the lime, the pepper, chicken,
It was going so well.
avocado, 2 avocados.
Going downhill so fast now with the flip-flops and chicken. Let's see if she can pull things back around.
Sour cream, cheddar cheese, refried beans. Wow, my catching is really good tonight. I don't know what this is. What is this? Chicken seasoning.
At least, as she says, her catching skills are on point.
Again, no pressure, absolutely no pressure.
Right.
Absolutely none, but 4.5 minutes.
I don't have time for this.
So these are the refried beans. I don't usually eat beans because it makes me feel a certain way.
Maybe a bit gassy and bloated, which I would suggest says more about Natacha's microbiome and digestive tract rather than the beans being problematic to digest. You obviously need a good range of bacteria in the colon to be able to ferment fibre and carbohydrates, and when you don't have a good range of bacteria in the colon because of antibiotic use, other medications, a lot of processed refined sugars and things like alcohol, etc., then the fibres and carbohydrates won't be broken down correctly, and then you will start running into digestive issues. To counteract this, then Natacha could simply spend a period of time, maybe a couple of months, eating a range of fermented foods and resistant starches, and then I'm sure she would tolerate beans a lot better. It would have been nice to see a lot more veggies in there, but anyway, let's move on.
Mario's favourite thing is just to search Netflix. It's not actually to watch something.
And then I go to bed.
I think that's a man thing because I drive Emma wild when I have the remote control. I spend more time browsing than I actually do watching the film or programme. Sorry, not sorry.
I'm just finishing off the day with some berries, and then we're going to watch The Matrix because I just need another trilogy in my life, you know. We've watched Star Wars, we've watched Batman trilogy, we've watched The Lord of the Rings. This was like a nice, chilled, we still did some work, but it was very chilled compared to usual, so it was really nice.
Some great trilogies Natasha mentioned there. Some other greats for me are Terminator, Indiana Jones, Godfather, and also Back to the Future. Let me know in the comments below what are some of your favourite film trilogies. Anyway, let's have a quick total up of Natasha's full day of eating to see how she tracks. So in terms of calories, I think that Natasha ate around 2,379 calories, plus or minus 100 calories or so. And given how active that she is, that is perfectly fine. In terms of her macronutrients, she probably overate protein slightly. The total amount of fats were okay, but I would say that she is slightly under on her intake of carbs. Now, just to caveat this as always, this was an isolated day of eating, so we can't draw anything meaningful from an isolated day of eating. In terms of carbs, she ate over the fibre recommendations with 33 grams, and in terms of free sugars, despite overloading in the early part of the day, she actually managed to keep below the recommendations of 25 grams for the entire day, which was good to see. In terms of Natasha's fat intake, her saturated fats for the day went a little bit over the guidelines, and despite eating the tuna, she was below the recommendations for her omega-3s. And in terms of her monounsaturated fat intake, she was generally in line with the guidelines. In an ideal situation, Natasha would flip those fat intakes the other way round, so reduce the inflammatory fats in her diet, so the saturated fats in omega-6s, and eat more of the healthier anti-inflammatory fats, which are the polyunsaturated fats and also the omega-3s. In terms of minerals and trace minerals, they were there or thereabouts, although her intake of potassium, chloride, iron and iodine were a bit on the low side. It's a similar story with Natasha's vitamin intake. For most things she was okay, but for vitamin A, E and also B7 she was slightly on the lower side. In terms of her macro analysis, I think that in terms of carbs they accounted for around 42 to 45% of her caloric intake. Protein came to around 20% and fats came around 37% of her total caloric intake. Again, this is an isolated day of eating, but it would have been good to see a full day of eating fall in line with the current guidelines and be slightly heavier on carbohydrates and less on the fats. Anyhow, that's the end of today's video. I hope you all enjoyed, and as always, remember to look after your body because it's the only place you have to live. And I'll see you next time.